G'day, my name is David and I love my gardening. Today I wanted to do a quick video on how I tell when it's time to turn over my compost bins. So I use a large format pallet, recycled plastic pallets for my compost bins. So you can see them here. And I'll turn them over from bay to bay as I turn them over to oxygenate them and add other bits and pieces to amend the mix and make it more fertile before I put it out in my garden bed. This pile here was in this bay last weekend and I've turned it over into here. So how do you tell when it's time to turn it over again? What I use are these thermometers. You can buy them on eBay or on Amazon. They're designed for compost bins, so if you do a Google search or do an Amazon search for compost bin thermometers, they'll come up. And basically they're a long probe, stainless steel probe. That one's just over 1 metre long, and you push them into your compost. And this is what I use to tell when it's time to turn the bin over. So within 24 hours of turning this bay over, the temperature shot up on these. So you can see here, there's some marks that tell you when it's actually cooking. So it tells you the temperature inside your compost bin here. So within 24 hours, it shot up. It's in the green area. And what I do is I then leave this until I see that temperature drop back down into the white area below the steady or active, it says on here. Once it drops down below that, I know that the decomposition, the composting process in here has slowed down and the mix is either ready to put out on the garden or it's time to add in things. And what I do is with these bays, I start with a raw base of compost. This is just a mixture of weeds and grasses, etc. from the garden. I'll take this and put this into this bay, and as I put it in here, I'll layer it with cardboard. I'll put gypsum in, I'll put in grass clippings. I'll layer it like a lasagna all the way up. Then I'll stick one of these probes in it and watch for it to start cooking. It'll heat up, get into that green area that you saw here. Very quickly that'll happen. And once that temperature drops and it starts to go down into the cool area, it means that there's not much happening, there's not much breaking down going. So then I know it's time to do another flip. I'll flip it into the next bay here. And at the same time, I'll repeat the process. I'll actually add in grass clippings, ash from a fireplace, a fire pit I've got, gypsum, crushed eggshells, cuttlefish bones, crushed cuttlefish bones, grass clippings, cardboard, shredded cardboard. I bring home shredded paper from the office. So this is all leftover shredded paper. That's great because you have massive surface area, lots of oxygen. So you get an aerobic breakdown. Stick the probe in it, it'll spike up again, it'll get hot. Once it cools down, I know it's time to flip it again. And I'll flip it, well, you look at this process here, flip it once, twice, 3 times. By the time it gets to the 4th bin, it's ready to go. Now this bin here, you can see this is the last bin. This is almost ready to be going out into the garden. You can see the temperature starting to cool down. Once it actually cools down, I'm happy with the mix and the content of the compost in here. I'll then put that out in the garden, or I may flip it back into another bay. But these thermometers are just fantastic. They let me know when it's time to do the flip. Hope this helps. Happy gardening.